Hey there, so this is a review of the awesome Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, which I have and I love it. If you have any questions about the device, please send me some comments. Please like and subscribe if you like my videos. I try to provide a lot of objective details, information about the devices I'm looking at, and over time build up like a catalog of like the metrics so that you can see how I really feel about one thing versus another. So the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus is really well made. It has aluminum back. It comes in 4 really nice colors. It has mystic navy, like a copper color, black, and silver. So I have the black one. I also had the mystic navy one, but I had that in the regular S7, so I upgraded to S7 Plus, and they had a really good deal on the price. But all the colors were great. Everything about the build is really nice. Like, you can put pressure on it. I don't feel like it's ever gonna bend or have any damage to the, the integrity of the machine. The screen is really good. It's one of the best screens out there. It's this 120 hertz OLED display. The screen is really bright. It's colorful. It's perfect. It's like pretty much the best tablet screen. I really like that it comes in 16:10 aspect ratio, because if you're watching videos or if you're using Microsoft Office, or if you want to have more than one app open at the same time, a wider aspect ratio is better. And I also like that they actually put the camera on a horizontal orientation as opposed to vertical, which the iPad still does. Most people, if you're sitting down with the keyboard on the tablet, which is what most people these days have realized the way they want to use the tablet is, you should just have the camera horizontal. I've used the camera on an iPad from the side, and it's always looking like it's not quite, like you have to look to the side and you can't really look at the screen. So I really like that they put the camera on the horizontal layout instead of the vertical. It has a little slot on the back for you to put your pen for recharging, which is way better than a lot of the well, obviously way better than the way the iPad first started, with the first Apple Pencil having a little, I don't even want to talk about it, but it's really elegant. And especially if you get the notebook, the keyboard snaps onto the back, and it lets you snap the pen underneath the keyboard case. So it's like really tucked in and really secure. They support the tablet with lots of really good hardware. So like they have like 3 different types of cases you can get with it. One of them even has a keyboard with a trackpad on it, which is one I have. And it's a really good keyboard experience. A lot of times if I don't want to take my laptop with me, I might take the tablet and use it for office programs, and it works really well in that way. So yeah, I love the hardware. I think the hardware is pretty much perfect. I give the build and hardware a 4 out of 4. Next would be performance. The best thing about the tablet is the screen. The screen is 120 hertz, 12.4 inch OLED display, and it's really, really good. Just as good as most of your phones. The resolution range is about Quad HD. If you want to watch videos, Netflix, HBO Now is my favorite. That aspect ratio is outstanding if you're traveling and whatnot. 16:10 aspect ratio is really good for video and film. Like I said earlier, I like the aspect ratio too for like putting 2 apps side by side. With the iPad's layout, it's not going to work quite as well. Other things about the performance, it comes with the Snapdragon 865 processor, which is more than good enough. I never noticed any delays or lag in it, but it doesn't quite match up with an M1 processor. That being said, I don't really use, I wouldn't really use a tablet to do like photo editing or video editing. I know there's or music creation. I know there's people out here who do it, but for me, in my personal opinion, that's what you use a laptop for. Laptops just have way more RAM. It has way more ports if you need to plug different things into it, and the processors are just better designed for that kind of work. You're gonna have more options. You're gonna have more features. So I don't really use a tablet in that way. I would use it for if I just want to use Office, I want to watch videos, I want to browse the web on something bigger than my phone, maybe fill out something online, like some kind of form or application or something like that, whatever. That's what I use the tablet for. But if I want to do video editing, photo editing, music creation, I'm gonna use like a laptop. I mean, you can use the MacBook for that. Like the MacBook Air these days are really fast. They're very lightweight. So that's my opinion. The performance is more than good enough for the things that I tend to use it for. If I want to use it for watching video, certain games that are on the tablet, it works great. The speakers are really good. It comes with AKG quad speakers. They sound great. They're very loud. They don't get distorted. They give you a nice warm surrounding experience. So I give the performance a 3.5 out of 4. It's not as powerful as an iPad, especially the M1 ones, but it's not a big deal for me at all. And I still think that the screen on the Galaxy S Tab Plus is the best one out there. So the Galaxy S7 Plus comes with tons of really good features. Samsung really does a really good job of supporting their tablet and making their tablet unique in comparison to any Android tablet option out there. So they got a lot of unique things like DeX, which kind of lets you use the tablet more like a desktop. It lays everything out. You get like a little start menu on the bottom, and it really encourages you to move windows around and multitask as much as you want. One of my favorite things about Galaxy devices too is they come with smart switch built in. So I can basically, if I have a Galaxy phone or tablet, another one, I can just pretty much duplicate everything about that tablet, down to the notes, down to the text messages, over to the new tablet without pretty much seamlessly and without having to put it somewhere else. The screen is 120 Hertz, so it supports the pen really well. There are some things obviously though that the Galaxy Tab doesn't have that an iPad might be better for. So if you're someone who uses FaceTime, or you're into a lot of the things that are in the Apple ecosystem, you're not gonna have that on the Galaxy Tab. There are a lot of Apple apps, as well as some other more productivity or design apps that show up first or only on the iPad. So if you're serious about using the tablet, that is one thing that you are going to be a little bit behind in as far as using an Android tablet. It's just some of that stuff is simply not on the Play Store, whereas there are on the App Store. Apps tend to just come out first on Apple, and then they show up on the Play Store a little bit later. But for the most part, like I said, it all comes down to how you want to use your tablet. But Samsung does a lot to close that gap. One of the things I've always liked about Samsung devices is the file system is so much easier to use. They've been using the USB-C ports since forever, and if you need to plug in devices, it's so much easier to do that with a Galaxy device. So I really like the features of the Galaxy Tab, but some people might feel like they're missing out on certain things. So for features, I give it a 3 out of 4. Probably the lowest area for the tablet, but it has a lot of really good stuff. And like I said, I feel like the multitasking and the DeX and the file system and a lot of the things that it does a lot of things better than the iPad still, in my opinion. It took a long time for the iPad to have a nice file system. It took a long time for it to be easier to plug in and play and plug different devices into it, and it finally has a USB-C port. But the Galaxy Tabs have had those for a long time, and it just works really well and very seamlessly when you want to plug it into the computer and just move files around. So next area would be value/wow factor. In value, there is no other tablet that has a screen quite like the screen on the tablet, the S7 Plus tab, except for the new Ultra tablet ones. So the 16:10 aspect ratio OLED display is the best place for watching videos on the go, playing games on the go. It just looks so good. It's so perfect. Especially if you use it horizontal. I usually use it with the little keyboard cover stand, and I can just put it on the table, sit down in a chair and watch something and really get into it, or even just put it on the bed and watch something, and it's like right in your face. You have no problems with the black bars. The black bars are perfect. The only thing that comes close to it is probably the iPad 12.9, but that one's going to cost you like $400 or $500 more, and you have to buy the tablet, you have to buy the keyboard, you have to buy the pen, just to get to that level with the iPad. Yeah, you're gonna have a few extra apps, you're gonna have some different things that you're gonna be able to use it for, but you can, if you're not going to use it in that way, the Galaxy Tab can get you a very good experience for a lot less money. And that's why I really like it. I like the way Samsung makes their software. I like the way it's easy to use. That being said, you have basically three different choices. You can go with the Galaxy tablets, you can go with a Surface, or you can go with an iPad. If you want to use a tablet that can really get a lot of stuff done, and you can use it for really video editing, programming, you know, photo editing, music creation, then you get the Surface. You're not gonna have as nice hardware. You gotta pay more for everything. Like the screens, you're never gonna get a screen quite like the Galaxy Tab on a Surface, but you will be able to use it for more productivity. iPad tries to be like the best thing in between, but in my opinion, some of the UI choices that they make and the compatibility is behind for no reason. And that's just the way it is. And to get the same things that the Galaxy Tab gives you, you're gonna have to pay, like I said, like $400 or $500 more. So in my opinion, the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus definitely has value in its favor. The screen on it is still one of the best screens out there. It gets very bright, perfect blacks, perfect aspect ratio for a tablet. They really thought out about how people are gonna be using the camera on it. The camera is horizontal, so it looks really good. It's very useful. The best device you can use for watching videos or playing games on the go. I give value a 3.5 out of 4. I really love my Galaxy Tab 7 Plus. I think it's really, really nice. The only thing I would probably want to get in after that would probably be the Ultra, just to have it even bigger. It really comes down to how you're going to use it though.